Now, just talk briefly about 2011, 2012. This is really just to recap a little bit of what we've managed to do in 2011 as a company, and I just thought I'd like to write it down, because we've worked quite hard over the last year, and everybody here has. So we've got 2.0 now with the graphical routing configuration tool. I think you know all this stuff, and we made a lot of architectural improvements as well to the system, which were overcoming really legacy things that we discovered in one point in the 1.x series as we were developing it, and after launch as well. Nothing, no plan survives contact with the enemy, and software I think is particularly a good example of that. 1.x series had a lot of changes and a lot of demands on it that were not originally considered, and in 2.0 we fixed most of those. We've introduced Stage, which is our network performance control tool. We've introduced OSC support. Very extensive MIDI routing options. Thank you, Kurt. He wrote that one. And hundreds of other small improvements in the system. So I think we had a pretty good year as a small software company in 2011. And Eigend has gone from being something that was quite niche and quite difficult to use to being something entirely different during that period of time. Quite exciting. And progress for developers in 2011 is probably more significant. We've open sourced the vast majority under GPL v3. We now have a developer API that ships with every install, and this is a big thing for me, which makes it very accessible. You don't really need to know about Git. You just need to be able to open your IDE.
Strictly, that was 2012.
Well, yeah. I was just piling them up there, John. Yeah, I'm going to include it. If we do this again next year, it'll be in the 2012 title. It'll be in both. Just yeah. I knew I wouldn't get away with that. Actually, as I was writing it, I thought somebody is going to tell me that it was 2012. So, and we now support binary, separately shippable agents, which is a very big thing, because it opens up all sorts of possibilities, both commercially and also technically for people, which is fun. And I just think it's going to be really convenient, particularly that Jim's written this thing where he just makes the package for you in the build system. Did you? Who wrote that? Yeah. I mean, that's just cool. That makes it's kind of trivial to send someone So we'll probably also put a bit of a thing up on the wiki. I think we should make a wiki section for people to share agents now as well. So as binary things. It would be good to have some versioning in, because ordinary people don't understand when their system crashes. They do not care whether or not there's some reason for it. So, and we're working really to foster a genuine open development environment. This is quite important to us, really. So although you hear me make all these kind of quite strong statements about software, hey, go do what you're going to do. So 2012 for musicians, our first big focus is going to be getting 2.9 into stable. That has to be the thing that we're really going to concentrate on in the next couple of months. So there's not going to be a lot of progress on anything big while we do that. We've got to be bug hunting, we've got to be polishing. There's lots of funny little rough corners that we need to go and sort out. It's not terribly exciting, but it is very important, I think. After that, we want to really return to things that make playing more interesting, some of the fun, low-hanging fruit. It's the noise agent. There are 1,000 little things like that would just be really cool in the workbench environment to have. And I think you guys also probably should pile in there before we pick off some of them as well, because they look like really good fun, some of this stuff. And we think that you're going to help contribute to that quite extensively. We think people out there are going to have a lot of fun coding with it. So, next architectural change will probably involve rigs and making them unpluggable. Is that right to say, Jim? You think that's the big, yeah. Probably. So, there is the word probably in here, Jim, so you're not being locked into any of this. So. There will also be a lot less flux in the API and environment than in 2011. Sorry, that's a typo there. But there will still be some, so just please bear with us. There may be some changes to things that we can't really avoid, or that just make life a lot better. So we might break the world occasionally. Please just bear with us if we do. You can complain, and we'll throw the complaints away. But, and we want to get back to things that make noise. I think that's probably one of the most important things. We've spent so much time polishing GUI, bit fiddling, making things shiny and sweet, and actually we really want to get back to things that people are using, with long hair and, on stage and all that stuff. So,